Good morning, Ashish. Little down, beta. Bend and go. Good. Today math practice also we need to do. We have to make some folder. Otherwise, this much files means getting the file itself is a problem. Good morning, Tarun, Anvi, Ranjit, Sharmila. I'm fine, thank you, beta. Good morning, everyone. Do one thing, inform everyone to join as fast as possible. Class started, inform them, class started. Wait, I'm sharing just. Divya, good morning. Still now, many students have not shown up. Now look here, beta. We'll start the class, please. So we are going to study the chapter name as reproduction. So in reproduction part, one by one, we are going to understand what is exactly for class 10 syllabus, what and all things are there. We need to understand what is the need of reproduction, understood? What is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, male and female reproductive organ, what is STDs, okay? Means sexually transmitted diseases, okay? And how to, what you called, that's how it is impacting human life. That's the only portion we have to study in that section, okay? Now when we talking about reproduction, we need to understand that what is the meaning of reproduction. Means it is the ability, we will see, it is the ability of living organism to produce new living organism similar to them. It is one of the important characteristics of life. Yes, so if somebody will be asking you about reproduction, we have an answer that key ability of an organism to reproduce. It is what? Ability of an organism to reproduce is called as reproduction. Now reproduction is of two types. One is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So what is reproduction? Ability of a living organism to produce new living organism similar to them. Ability of an organism to produce new living organism similar to them is considered as what? Reproduction. Okay. Now, in reproduction section, you see purpose of reproduction. See, first thing is that what is the exactly species? Species means what? A type of organisms which is existing on Earth or any other planet. Understood not? Just not talk about only Earth, talk about other planets also where it is supposed that life is existing. Understood not? So wherever life exists, whichever planet, whichever region life is existing, the life must be exactly going to get continued, understood, in that planet. Otherwise, what will happen? The life will finish, means there will be no existence of living creature in that area. Understood or not? So for the existence of living species, reproduction is very, very important. Reproduction is exactly giving what you call guarantee, the continuation of a species. Understood or not? Means one specific species is there on Earth, Vibha, hello. Now look here. So one particular species is there on Earth. So that particular species makes has to be continued on that Earth. Good morning. So on that planet the species has to get continued. Okay, so that's the guarantee given by reproduction. Understood? So it's a living process through which the organisms keeps on getting continued on a specific planet. Understood? Come beta. So reproduction is guaranteeing this is one thing we have learned. Next important point to be noted, कि if somebody will be asking you what is the need of reading reproduction, the most important thing is little bit far better from camera wire. That wire is very dangerous. So now if somebody will be asking you this question, if somebody will be asking you this question, that what is the need of learning reproduction? See, when you are learning force, when you are learning acceleration, when you are learning different laws of physics, then what is there when you are learning life process means you need to understand that what are ifs and buts of your own body organ. Understood? So reproductive organ is also one of the most important thing that a human must understand. Understood or not? So for that only reproduction chapter has been introduced in NCRT. Understood? So the next important thing is कि if somebody will be asking you purpose of reproduction, the purpose of reproduction is aiming to continue the life on a planet. Understood? So if we want a species to get continued on a planet, we need to understand what is reproduction. Understood or not? Now next important thing is, in other word, it is proof a group of immortality by replacing the dead individuals with new ones. Understood or not? So here if you will go with the definition, everyone please kindly say me hi. So reproduction is aimed to multiplication and perpetuation, stability of a species. In other words, it proves group immortalities by replacing the dead individuals with new ones. Yes, individuals, see, once a living Tarun, yes Tarun. So once exactly one species is dead, another species is exactly coming. Like that it is there. No, one species in species in a particular, like human species, which I'm talking about Homo sapiens. Okay, so in human species Homo sapiens itself, what is exactly happening is, given Homo sapiens are exactly what you call, they are growing on earth from these many years, correct na, these many years. So our body features have changed dramatically. Got it? That is variation adopted by a species. Good morning Maha. Sharmila, good morning. But I'm not seeing most of you are live. Come on, most of you are not live. Check your live button. I want to know how many students are live. Okay, Ashwita, she is very consistent. Tarun, Anvi, Ranjit, Sharmila, Ashwita, Divya, Vibha, Maha, Sophia, good morning. Good morning, Ranjit. Just give me good morning and just check your live button. Is it red or not? So only I'll come to know how many students are at current attending the classes. Okay. I'm just counting the name. One person is there. They're counting your live or not. Now look here, beta. Just understand this. So when, see, one species, like, it is not like my great grandfather. My great grandfather, if he will be here on earth, then what is the need of me? Correct, na? Huh? So that means what? One species means in the species, one category means if good morning, Kavya. So that means what? One is dying, another one is coming, but same type, but little bit variation. If my great grandfather my might have been exactly alive, then you can think that that person will not be liking the way we are eating, correct na? Because there is a tremendous change in the eating habit from our ancestors to us. In fact, the vegetable to everything, that the taste to everything has changed. Got it now? So definitely they'll not be liking many things that is associated with it. Correct? So now we are going to go to the next topic, basic features of reproduction. Basic features of reproduction. So if somebody will be asking you what are exactly basic features of reproduction, how it is exactly possible for asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. then we must understand that the mode of reproduction vary in different type of organisms. Like you need to understand that when we talk about unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms, so that means what, unicellular organisms do not reproduce. That's wrong. Unicellular organisms are also reproducing. Unicellular organisms means the organisms which are composed of only one cell, which is exactly born, means what, only one cell is there. That is exactly called as what, unicellular organism. What it is called as, unicellular organism. So unicellular organisms are exactly surviving with one cell only. So when they will also have to reproduce, because unicellular organisms existence is there. Life originated on earth with a unicellular species only, understood or not? So when we are talking about different type of unicellular organisms, we are exactly learning that okay, these unicellular organisms are only the one which has exactly got converted into multicellular. Got it? Because of some what you call variations in the cells, they started multiplying. Got it? And this multiplication of cells has emerged to another multiplication, another multiplication, another multiplication. It took billions of years, but exactly a multicellular organism species came. I hope you might have understood. So these contents are very, very important to be checked. Okay. Everyone quickly say me hi. Understood. Right now, Maha, Ashwita, Sharmila, Durga, Divya Durga, Kavya. Only this much students are there. Live. Understood or not, beta? So now we need to understand the second phase. Okay. Now, if somebody will be asking you, Mahalakshmi, so now immediately inform. Sophia, where are you? Now look here. So if somebody will be asking you, then you need to understand and explain that. However, all of them have certain common basic features. What is exactly? See, they vary. They vary in the mode of reproduction. They vary in different organisms. Okay. However, like asexual reproduction is different and sexual reproduction is different. But if somebody will be talking to you, however, the mode of reproduction is varying in different. So how there? What is something common between them? First is replication of DNA. That's one of the most important thing, and that's common in different type of organism. It may be unicellular, it may be multicellular, but what is common for reproduction is replication of DNA. What is common in reproduction is replication of DNA. That is very good, Maha. So that is exactly what it is called as replication of DNA. Replication of what? DNA. Means DNA has to replicate for reproduction. Second is cell division. Cell division is also one of the basic factor for reproduction. Understood? So cell division is another important, Tarun, absolutely. So cell division is another important factor of reproduction. Next is formation of reproductive bodies or units. Formation of reproductive bodies or unit. So that's what. So we know that DNA zygote is there. Zygotic formation is there. Correct now? So we talk about the zygotic formation. We talk about what and all contents are there. Understood or not? So for that also, and development of reproductive bodies into offspring. So small one zygote, one single cell will get converted, replicated, duplicated, and then it is exactly getting converted into a new species. Understood? So this replication, duplication, breaking is exactly a common process. Understood? So development of reproductive bodies into offsprings are again one specific feature. Understood or not? So here, this is exactly about, yes, so replication of DNA. So what are the 4 points, very important points? Replication of DNA, second cell division, next formation of reproductive bodies or units, and then development. So starting with which one? Next, next, after that their development, and after development one phase will come, they will reproduce and they will die. Understood or not? So that's the general process: DNA replication, cell division, then formation, then development, and after some time again death. Understood or not? So after the moment they are developing, after development what they are doing, after development one phase will come, they will itself reproduce and they will again die. Understood? So like what is the difference between unicellular and multicellular organism? See, what is the difference between the parents of unicellular and multicellular organisms? Jotam, still now you have not shown up. Come on, say, what is the difference between development of unicellular or multicellular organisms? Come on, say, what is the difference about unicellular multicellular organisms? Parents. I'm just wanting to know about the parents. What is the difference between the parents of unicellular and multicellular organism? Unicellular, one parent is there, multicellular, many parents are there. See, unicellular, one parent means one cell will divide into two, okay, or multiple cells. That is a unicellular organism. Multicellular means two parents are needed, one male and one female. Understood? For reproduction. But unicellular, unicellular and multicellular thing, when you need to understand another important point here. Maha, most of the unicellular organism perform a sexual reproduction single parent. Yes, single parent. But the thing here is, at the time of division, the single parent poch after that means died. After that, the existence of that single parent will not be there, because the single parent itself is breaking into two or multiple. Understood or not? The single parent itself is breaking into two or multiple. Understood? That's the most important thing in a sexual reproduction. And with what sincerity you have shown the answer. I'm just laughing. Now look here, beta. So that means what we have learned, a very important thing, that ki single parent will not be shown up after reproduction. Understood? Because the single cell will break. The single cell will break, and after breaking the daughter cells are coming. Why they are not calling son cell? Why they are calling daughter cells? Yes. So daughters are associated with reproduction. So females are associated with reproduction. So only they have given the word daughter cells. Understood? So I have given what word they have used? Daughter cells. So daughter cells means the one which can be reproducing again. Again, after reproduction, daughter cells, you are saying, after again it will grow up. Again you are calling it as parent, and again when it will divide, again it will reproduce, again you are calling it as daughter cells. Again it will call it as, again we will call it as daughter cells. I hope you might have understood this one. Come on everyone, tell me. Then it is called as what? Daughter cells. So what we have learned? Replication, cell division. Very good. Again, say the four process. First is replication, cell division, formation of reproductive bodies, development of reproductive bodies. So, shall we again replication, cell division, formation, development. In shortcut, we will say replication, very good. Formation and development. Good morning, Jotam. Now look at. So now these are the four process. Now significance. What is the significance of reproduction? See, all the answers are exactly. Can you check what we are purpose of reproduction? When in CBSE they will ask you purpose. Purpose is having a different answer. Understood or not? Did you saw one thing? What is reproduction? Reproduction definition is different. What is purpose of reproduction? That is different. Basic features of reproduction, that is different. Significance of reproduction, that is different. Understood? But what is exactly done by the student is, for all the answer they're writing the same answer. Then from where you are going to expect the marks? You need to first understand that. Okay, so what is the purpose of reproduction? Purpose of, see, what is the purpose of reproduction? To allow the continuation of species on earth. Understood or not? So to allow a continuation of species on the planet, it is exactly reproduction is needed. Understood? Now basic feature for reproduction, these are the basic criteria, or these are the lines, or these are the chart that the reproduction is actually carried for. Understood or not? These are the steps the reproduction has to follow. That is, first replication, then cell division, formation and development. So these are the stages the cell division has to go through. These are the stages what a cell division has to, the reproduction has to go through. Now next part is, if somebody will be asking you significance of reproduction. Yes, there is significance of reproduction. What is the significance of reproduction? It allows perpetuation of species. Perpetuation of species means continuation of a species on earth. Understood? Next, it increases the population of species. 100% na. So reproduction guarantees that existence of a species. See, any natural calamity coming, any natural calamity like tsunami, flood, or what you call earthquake, you might be seeing that there is a disaster, means more species are dying. Understood? But in them, some of the species are surviving actually. So when these species are surviving, so exactly, see, so here one must important thing is we must be understanding that it plays an important role in evolution by transmitting favorable variations from one generation to another generation. So variations are one of the most important part of reproduction. Understood or not? So here, see, Aditya, that's very bad. Okay, that's very bad. We are studying and you are making fun. That's really very bad. So now look here. It increases the population of a species. Understood? So continuation of a species on any planet. So that's the significance. Next important point is perpetuation, means continuation. That's what. Okay, the species should grow, the species should reproduce, the species should continue, increase their population. That's the significance part of it. So it plays an important role in evolution. See, one thing is that one species evolution also is one of the most important factor of reproduction. Understood or not? See, every time there are variations. Okay, so genetically when we talk about 50% of the parent genetic content and 50% of the mother genetic content a child is exactly having. Understood or not? So 50% means from coming from father family, 50% coming from mother family, means mother bloodline. Understood? So when they are carrying this one, so 100% variation will be there. You might be seeing that father and mother both are exactly same common. Understood or not? But the child is born with some deformities. So once some deformities are there, some diseases are there in the child, then after that sometime you will be coming to know that you will go to doctor, you will ask, then they will be saying it is in the DNA. That means what? And when you will be exactly inquiring what information you are going to get, that okay, some of the ancestors, some of the forefathers, or some of the near bloodline, what you call parents, means grandparents, had this disease, and that disease is exactly, it was dormant for what you call dormant for parents, but it got evolved for the child. So definitely the child got that deformities. So that's one of the most important thing, that is reproduction is exactly. So variation, so slowly variation will come. One simple example, genetics. Yes beta. हिंदी में see, in Hindi, you need to understand. Anu, good morning, beta. In Hindi, see, एक बात, can I explain one line in Hindi? See, in reproduction, you need to understand that कि specifics कुछ जैसे species होते हैं, तो उन species के साथ what problem they are having is कि the species are exactly getting evolved. Evolved means कि हमें Homo sapiens से अभी यहाँ तक आने में बहुत सारा साल लगा. Means we have spent nearly many years. Understood? So most of the now many of the organs of the body has gone for vestigial, which was once upon very active. Got it? So that's because of variations. That's because of variation and change in the environmental factor beta. Okay. So significance of reproduction is exactly explaining this section only. So when they will be asking purpose, significance, understood or not? So we need to explain differently. Okay. Genetic disorders beta always now genetic disorder. Yes, genetic disorder is one of the factor. We must understand the genetic disorder is one of the factor, but one more important point to be noted here, that genetic disorder with that sometimes it's good also, like changing in temperature. Some of the species they adopt or they learn due to what you call there is variations, so because they will be learning to now adopt into that particular environment, understand? So our ancestor may not be able to adopt into this condition because they are not used to it, understood or not? So but we are adopting because we are exactly in the cycle of variation. Got it? So now one simple example I'm showing, I'm just telling you. See, one person was there, one lady was there. That's a true story I'm telling you. So now that lady, now she was exactly having one problem. When she used to go to garden or she used to go to some specific areas when color vibrations were there. Means many different type of peoples are exactly wearing different. Like she used to go in a garden or she used to go in a public area, and people are wearing some different type of red color dress, yellow color dress. She used to close her eyes and she used to act differently. Okay, but definitely in their family line nobody was doing like that, so it goes on, understood? It goes on. Then one stage came when she went itself for research. Okay, when she went for research, then there in the research center, I'll not take all the content, just shortcut I'm telling you. In the research section she exactly try to understand what is the problem with her, because many people they associate all these type of problems with ghost is there, this is there, that is there, but that problem was very very continuously coming for her, and people were telling that she's suffering from some type of disorder, the family line is having that type of disorder. Then the research section went with her brain and then eye and everything. You know what came out as a result? The result was rods and cones. You know rods and cones? Yes, na? In yellow spot, yes, macula, last time we have studied. In that section, they came to know that, see, usually cones gives color to eyes. Understood? Or not? The colors to the object. Understood? So the cones are responsible. The cone cells are responsible for giving color, specific. Now, with the colors, every colors are having a specific wavelength. Understood? So all the colors are having specific wavelength. You know, accidentally in their bloodline they had a 3D 4D like that variations, you know, light sensitive cells. Absolutely beta, absolutely ma. The light sensitive cells is exactly got elevated and they were able to variate the color, understand or not? So because of that, what is happening that whichever color she was seeing, she was able to exactly explain there is a variation. Then what the scientists did is they put black color, they many red color, many color where variations of wavelength is there. Same red color na will be for some people, same red color will be very dull, but same red color will be very bright for some people, correct na? So that's the variation in the wavelength. So it's exactly the color wavelength changing cannot be caught by many people. For some it is just a red color, but if you will ask now that is there any variation in here, they say it's a red color only. But some people they say this is red, this is this red. And you know what? That girl, that lady, she caught nearly 100 to 150 variations in wavelength in red color. Are you understanding? So like that, and red color wavelength is high, speed is exactly very high. So it's very difficult to exactly understand first what is correct now. For us it is just a red color, but for it is not. And because of that only, when she used to go in a garden or area where different type of color combos were there, she was unable to catch that because the eyes were catching more of the color wavelengths, and she was unable to perceive that perfectly. That's the biggest problem she was having, understood not? And you know what, in the bloodline, then she started searching in the bloodline where is this problem again. Then they came to know that this problem was coming from the ancestor, understood not? So ancestor had the same problem, but you know what, they perceived that the ancestor is having some ghost or something. Because of that the wavelengths were catching and she was behaving differently, Understood or not? So it carries from the mother bloodline. Understood? So these were the research we have seen recently that it is going on in rods and cones amount. And definitely, so beta, whatever disorder a human body is having, whatever variations are coming, that will, but you know what, now this will go, because in the bloodline, in the mother is the carrier and mother is exactly, then they search the DNA also, and DNA got replicate, DNA got what you call muted. Once DNA will be muted and DNA is having this information, that means the coming generations will be able to have, means her coming generations will be able to have the color capture capacity different from us. Are you understanding? So they will be able to differentiate color better way than us, in simple way I can say. Understood or not? But they will have some sensitive, they will be very very sensitive. That's the most important part, we have to understand that. Got it? So that's exactly responsible because of what? Reproduction only. So we need to understand that if this is not there, means the species will be exactly extinct. Right now, many of the species are not there. Dodo, one time, what a specific type of bird was there. Now it is not there. Understood or not? So this is ensuring the continuation of a species on earth. That's the most important thing we need to understand. Now, forms of reproduction, we are going to talk about two different forms of reproduction. Beta, what are the two different forms of reproduction? What you call sexual and asexual reproductions. Understood or not? So you need to understand certain human criteria, certain organisms. Understood or not? So these organisms, like bugs are there, different type of bugs are there. So different type of bugs are having different type of color. Why only one color is not there? You know why? Because they want to save themselves. That is called as survival of the fittest. So survival of the fittest will be there, but when they will learn to adopt with the nature. Understood or not? So slowly they learn to adopt with the nature, but when they are learning to adopt with the nature, there is one thing that is changing. And can you tell me what is changing? They are adopting and they are variating so that they can survive. So that they can survive. Otherwise, they won't be able to exist. Got it? So reproduction is just a process. Understood? In between this development, in between this timeline changing of the species, reproduction is just a tool, this is just a process which is continuing a species. Understood or not? And the variations will be exactly a guaranteed part of the reproduction. Specifically when two different parents are coming from two different communities. Understood or not? Because male parent, mother and father is there, so mother and father is coming from two different communities with two different DNA constants. Understood or not? So when they are coming with some variations, they will be exactly bringing a child. That child will again be a result of that variation, and that child will be exactly having a child after some time. Then variations will be exactly improved. Got it? And the variation sometimes is exactly good for a species to continue on a specific planet. That's the core information about it. Understood? So now in asexual reproduction, we are going to talk about producing new organism from a single parent without the involvement of sex cells or gamete. Understood or not? So here we need to understand that unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. When we talk about unicellular organisms do not have specific cells, which we are calling it as sex cells, that is exactly responsible for reproduction. Understand or not? So that means what, their body itself is breaking, or exactly fissions will be there, different process will be there. We'll study about it. Understood? So here one thing is exactly going to be, we are going to understand this. So the most important thing is, I think we have understood this one. So now we are going to go and understand the next important point. In asexual reproduction, it is the process of producing new organism from a single parent without the involvement of sex cells. So they don't have the sex cells. I hope you might have understood till here. Okay. So now we are going to do the next important part, that is somatic cells. So there are two different type of cells. See, you need to understand that there are two different type of cells. One is somatic cells, next one is germ cells. So now in our body itself, two different type of cells are there. So whatever the germ cells are associated with reproduction. So understood, for male it's sperm, for female it is ova. Understood, male it's sperm and for female it is what beta? Ova. Understood. So sperm and ova are there, they are exactly genetic, they are only going for reproduction. Rest other than that, whatever body cells are there, they are called as somatic cells. What they are called as? Somatic cells. So we came to know that those cells which are not capable of reproductions are called as somatic cells, but they have DNA and everything will be there, but what they are exactly considered as beta? Somatic cells. Just remember the word, what is exactly called as somatic cells? The somatic cells are those cells which are not taking part in reproduction. You can write it in a very gentle way. The somatic cells are those cells which are not taking part in reproduction. I hope you might have understood this one. So as only somatic cells are involved, it is also called as, so that is somatogenic reproduction. What it is called as? Somatogenic reproduction. Understood or not? So now if somatic cells are responsible, so like single cell, they are somatic only, na? Unicellular cell, that is single cell, that is somatic. They don't have a specific germ cell. So what they are calling, and they will be participating for reproduction, what word we are going to use for them? That is called as somatogenic reproduction. What word it is called as? Somatogenic reproduction. What word we are saying? Somatogenic reproduction. Okay, so that's called as, again, everyone online present, what is it called as? Somatogenic reproduction. What it is called as, beta? Somatogenic reproduction. Tarun, hi. Jotam, Ashwita, Kavya, Kritika, Divya, Ranjit. Understood. So it is called as what, beta? Somatogenic reproduction. That's most important thing. Okay. So now we will go for the next part. Due to monoparental reproduction, is it produce what you call identical offsprings? What it is producing, beta? Identical offspring. Now this is exactly one thing that is called as clones, and all are clones. What is the meaning of clone? Clone is exactly, yes, same as the parent. Variations are very, 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 very minimal. Understood now? So when variations are very, very minimal, when there is very less variation, chances of variation is very, very less. That time we are exactly telling that clones have been made. Okay. So clones is a very, very typical word. Understood? Clone means if I want to make a clone of a specific, still now these people do not have said me hi. I'm remembering this. So clones are exactly, if somebody will be talking about clones, so we must understand one thing. So now I am going to understand this part, you are going to understand this section. So if somebody will be talking about clone, so if clones will be there, the clones will be exactly genetically identical. Genetically identical. So genetic identical part is there. One of the most important thing is genetically what they are? Identical. I hope you might have understood this one. So this is one of the most important factor associated with reproduction. Specifically what type of reproduction, beta? Asexual reproduction. Very good, super. So now beta, we will understand this part. Binary fission in amoeba, fragmentation in spirogyra, vegetative propagation in flowering plant like rose, and spore formation in rhizopus fungus. They are exactly making what? They are exactly making clones, beta. What they are making? Clones. I hope you might have understood. So clone formation is one of the specific feature of asexual reproduction, but in sexual reproduction it is not at all possible. I hope you might have understood. So in asexual reproduction it is not at all possible. So we need to understand, but in understand one more important point. In asexual reproduction, it is you need to understand one another important thing is, people says that, see, in asexual reproduction also variations are there. Understand or not? But the variation at the time of DNA duplication, at the time when the cell is breaking, if there is any change, external factor change will be there, or there are another thing that is associated with it at the time. So then any chemical change will be there, any environmental change will be there. At that time, if a slight variation is adopted in them, understood? So that variation will be exactly going to the coming part, understood or not? So that's again a very important point to be noted. Got it? So clones also will be made, means the clones, if one slight variation will be exactly existing, it will just pass on to the clones. Got it? It will just pass on to the clones. That's another important point to be noted. I hope you might have understood. Sorry, children, I have made the comments off because I want to teach. I just don't want some unwanted people to speak some unwanted things. The reason is only simple. I'm teaching. I'm standing here to teach. I really appreciate those children who are listening me. Okay, so now we will be exactly going for the next one. Next, about sexual reproduction. So if somebody will be asking you about sexual reproduction, so it is the process of producing new organism from two parents, understand or not? So here we need to understand that when we talk about two parents, two different, one male and a female coming from two different communities, their DNAs will be exactly having some type of genetic information coded inside them, and that genetic information has to be transmitted, has to be transferred to the offspring, understood or not? So that is exactly called as what, beta? Sexual reproduction. Okay, so usually multicellular organisms are undergoing what? Sexual reproduction. Okay, so now next is the process of producing new organism from two parents by making use of their sexes or gametes are exactly considered as what, beta? Sexual reproduction. What it is considered as? Sexual reproductions. Now human, frog, fish, cat. So generally we will be saying about mammals or multicellular organisms. Understood? So we associate it, we categorize it. Okay, unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. Okay, and then they will be. So one word is there, what is exactly called as regeneration. Okay, regeneration, reproduction. Understood? So regeneration is also one of the part of reproduction. Understood or not? Regeneration is also one of the part of reproduction, but reproduction is a bigger term in compared to that of regeneration. Some species regenerate, like lizard. You might have seen that the lizard, na, if you will cut the tail of the lizard, after some time you will be seeing a new tail is coming, correct na? In our body also, some of the cells are there, some of the organs are there, some of the glands are there that can regenerate. Okay, so liver can regenerate. Got it? So when we were a small child, when we were about just one single zygote, at that particular moment also, when we were zygote, after that multiplication of the cells started. Understood or not? So duplication, triplication of the cells started, and multicellular organisms will be exactly coming. Understood or not? So that contents whatever we are talking about, that contents whatever we are discussing about the multicellular organisms and their changes that is coming. That's a result of variation. That's a result of variation. Understood or not? Now we have to understand about, first we will go for asexual reproduction, type of asexual reproduction and everything associated with asexual reproductions. Understood? So now in asexual reproduction, we are going to understand definition. First we are going to understand how many parents are there for asexual reproduction. Beta, one single parent is there for. Understood? They are called as parent. What they are called as? Parent. Okay, now we will go for the next part. So now production of offspring by a single parent without the formation and fusion of gamete is called as asexual reproduction. So here fusion, what is the meaning of the word fusion? Fusion means the male and the female, what you call germ cells, has to fuse. We are calling it as germ cells. Understood? So the male and the female germ cells has to fuse, and the fusion of the male and the female germ cells will be exactly giving what, beta? A zygote. What it will be giving? A zygote. A zygote is a single cell. A zygote is a single cell. After that only multiple breaking will be there. I hope till here it is absolutely clear. Okay, so children, those who are studying in our coaching, you just do only one work, beta. You just do only one work. Give me personal messages. In group you give message, I'll be able to see, my team is able to see. But this type people, they are not allowing us to study. They will not allow us to study, they will not also study. Their only one problem is they want to make fun with everything. Life is fun for them. Okay, so let them enjoy their own way. So it is more primitive type of reproduction. It ensues rapid increase in number. So see, but one question I'm going to ask from you people, one question is there. See, lifespan of which type of organisms are more, asexual reproducing organisms or sexually reproducing organisms? So the correct answer is sexually reproducing organisms. Maha, is it if the life is struck, you can rejoin again. Okay. Hmm. Okay, I hope you might have understood, beta. Come on, we'll go for the next part. Okay, now it is active. Now you can message. Hmm. So, so we need to understand another important point. Sometimes the distractions are very high. Yes, Anu. Now look at it. So, production of offspring by a single parent without the formation of fusion, without the formation and fusion of gamete. It is exactly another part. Is called as asexual reproduction. It is more primitive type of reproduction. It ensues rapid increase in number. What where I was discussing about, yes, where I was discussing about a very important thing, and that was lifespan. Okay, lifespan I was discussing about. So, which type of organisms are having a bigger lifespan? The sexually produced organisms or asexually produced organism? Sexually produced organism. Why, beta? Beta, see, yes, lifespan we were discussing about, and in that we have learned a very important thing. I just started with that. So look here, beta, where single parent will be there, the lifespans will be exactly not so much. Understand? Some hours or some days. Yes, beta, some hours or some days. The lifespans are supposed to be some hours or some days. But multicellular organism itself takes some months. Understand? Not some months or some weeks to grow. Got it? So after what you call fusion of germ cells, whatever zygote is going to form, that zygote need to be duplicating, replicating, so that they will be making a specific structure. Understood? Which will be called as a child or offspring. Got it? So usually now humans are also animal. Categorize us in the category of animal. We are intelligent animal. You can say like that. Okay. We are what? We are intelligent animals. That's it. Only one thing is there. See, like other, but you know what? If I will say we are only intelligent animals, then it is not correct. Every single individual organism existing in a specific planet are intelligent. Understood? And they know the survival strategies. Got it? What they are knowing is survival strategies. And these survival strategies, they are, yes, beta, we are intelligent animals, but with us, many organisms are there. Beta, you might have seen that tailor birds, you might have seen different type of fishes. You might have, if you will exactly capture their activities now, they are very intelligent, but their brain works according to the situation. Understand not? See, we have only one extra thing more than them. Just learn that. We can see, understand one thing. We have a built up category. Like we have hands, which is a very developed one. Understood? We can catch, we can hold. Got it? But the thing here is, with that we are doing wonders. Why we are doing wonders? Because we can imagine. See, animals can't imagine. That's not true. Correct? Na? Many animals, what you are taming, Understood. Many organisms that are tamed, you might have seen that some dogs are very very emotional. Got it? So they have sixth sense. With that sense, they are actually able to recapitulate the thing, and they can be able to what you call reflect their emotions. Understood? So different organisms, see, that is also a gift of what? Reproduction, because through generations there is some variations in them. Understand not? First, the animals, wild animals, they were not so interactive with humans. Now they are learning slowly to interact with the same in the same platform, because the jungles are getting reduced. Understood or not? So this is exactly, so the mindset, the brain of the organisms are also changing according to generations and generations. Understood or not? So that's many specific features are there, that is exactly coming generation to generation by reproduction in the bloodline because of variations. Understood or not? So there are many factors which are associated with it. So you need to understand, you need to tangle the things, then you will be understanding the present world where we are and how the species are responding to the present world. Got it? Because jungles are very less, the human, you need to understand, jungles are very less, the human interfered in jungle. Now most of the jungles are either disappeared, and they have to share their space, they have to share their space with other organisms, and now these organisms are learning the habits of human. Are you understanding? So only some of the wild animals also interacting with us like us. Got it? And that proves that they are intelligent, and that proves that they are intelligent and they have brain. Understood? So this is one of the most important factor out of the boundary I have discussed. Okay, so now occurrence, now we will go about the occurrence. So how was the class today? Is it okay, beta? Now look here, occurrence, asexual reproduction occurs in protozoans and some animals such as sponges, that is coelentrates, and certain worms and tunicates. It is absent among the higher invertebrates and all vertebrates. Yes, beta. What is the meaning of vertebrate, beta? If somebody will be asking you about vertebrate, see, just simple thing. See, the living organisms, there will be two different categories we are categorizing: vertebrates and invertebrates. Vertebrates means what, beta? Having vertebral column. The spines are there, na? That is exactly. And you know what? They are bilaterally symmetrical. Many are there which is not bilaterally symmetrical, but some of them are beta bilaterally symmetrical. What is the meaning of bilateral symmetry? Left half appears equal to right half. Understood or not? So if we are going to separate the body part, one who can one is having, one who has backbone. Absolutely correct, beta. The one who is having backbone will be exactly, yeah, that's what we are talking about. Correct now? So that is called as bilateral symmetry. What it is called as? Bilateral symmetry. So left and right appears same. Got it? So that's bilaterally symmetrical. Next important point is vertebrates, invertebrates and vertebrates. The one is having spinal cord, so they will be exactly called as vertebrals. Understood or not? Or vertebrates. Yes. So that's what is exactly the differentiating categories are. Bilateral symmetry. Yes, absolutely correct, beta. This word bilateral symmetry means left and right appears same. Got it? But trees are not bilaterally symmetrical. Correct now? Because one branch is going like this, one branch is coming like that. So that's not called as bilateral symmetry. Understood? Bilateral symmetry means given the left. So fishes are bilaterally symmetrical. Correct? We can say frogs are bilaterally symmetrical. Humans are bilaterally symmetrical. So the what you call mammals are bilaterally symmetrical. They have vertebral column. So they will be undergoing, multiple cells are present in them. So they will be going for sexual reproduction. I hope you might have understood. So now characteristics of asexual reproduction. So I think occurrence, asexual reproduction occurrence, everybody understood here. So asexual reproduction occurrence means protozoans and some animals like sponges, coelentrates, certain worms are also there. They are undergoing asexual reproduction. Left and right, yes, looks same. That is called as left and right appearance will be same, Anu. That is exactly called. Anvita, Ashwita, are you there? So characteristics of asexual reproduction, only one individual will be there. How many individuals will be there? Only one individual will be there, beta. That's what is the characteristic of a asexual reproduction. Okay, now that is opposite sexes are not involved, means male and female is not involved, that's it. In simple word, male and female will be not involved, that's the most important part. Next part beta, cell divisions are either amitotic and mitotic. So beta, one day specifically, next class in beginning itself, I will explain what is mitotic and amitotic divisions, understood not? In the cellular level, mitotic and amitotic divisions are there. That content we will be learning. Okay, so next class first I will be talking about that. In class 9th also they have introduced the syllabus, so I have to explain that one, understood? So that part I'm going to explain in the first part of the class beta. The new individual produced are genetically identical to their parents, that's the most important thing. And the word clone we have learned there only, correct na? The word clone, because variations were very less there, understood? So now asexual reproduction presents a rapid mode of multiplication. Yes, that's what now we learned. The one which is rapidly multiplying and growing have a very less lifespan, understood? So but for what you call multicellular organism, the rapid division is not there, understood? The divisions are there, the cell divisions are there, but they are involved, you need to understand another important thing. Development is one of the specific feature of every species, correct now? So but with the development, you need to see growth and development is two different factors, and people are saying that growth and development both are same. No, when growth is there, development will take a sideline, understood? You might be seeing that when you were a small child, you were very lean and thin and you were exactly growing, that is a phase of growth. Are you understanding? The moment you are reaching to the stage of adolescence, after that the growth is getting a sideline and then development will start in the body. The muscle formations will be there. That's the two different thing associated with two different timelines. Are you understanding that? So development is different, growth is different. When the growth will be there, the cell divisions will be there more. Are you understanding? So there is a stage in the living creatures where the growth is going to be the primary part and development is going to be the secondary phase. But once the growth will be what you called settle down, the growth will be less, then development will go more. Understood? So old people like us, in our body there will be no cell divisions again and again. It's just like a development. Understood? The muscles is exactly setting up. Now the development will be there. I hope you people have understood this part. Come on, say everyone, did you understood this? Did you understood till here, beta? How was the class today? Did you learn? Understood? So growth and development is two different phases. Yes, understood? Yes, beta. Absolutely. God bless you all. So now cell division are either amitotic or mitotic. I'm going to explain about mitotic and amitotic beta next class. Now the new individual produced are genetically identical. That's what we talked about clones. And asexual reproduction rapid mode of multiplication, that all the content, advantage and disadvantages. Yes, there are advantages and there are disadvantages associated with it also, understood? Now look here beta, one type of defect came in one organism, the defect will keep on carrying forward, understood? Because variations are very less, and that's what, see, variations are very less. So since the variations are very less, so defects will be more going to the generations, correct now? And then one time will be coming that organism, see, just understand, one organism lifespan is 5 hours. Okay, now some defect happened, the lifespan reduced to 3.5 hours. Now since it is clone making, so the all coming generations will have what is the lifespan? 3.5 hours. Are you understanding? So that specific, once the variation will be involved, everything will change. I hope you might have understood this one. Come on, children. You understood now? So now we are going to go for the next part. So evolutionary changes is not possible as no variations is produced. A species consequently cannot adapt to change in its environment. That's the most important problem. That is the problem. It's problem actually. Why I'm calling it as a problem? Because variation is less. Understand or not? So they can't adopt in all the situations. They can't adopt in all the situations. So evolutionary changes is not possible. So if I will be seeing a bacteria now, my coming generation after a few hundred years, if I am seeing a single cell bacteria, I am seeing through a microscope whatever features the bacteria is having, same features I will see after my generations will see after certain 100 years. Understood? And this is why, because they are just making their clones without a variation, without an evolution. I hope you might have understood. Yes, defects will be more. That's what I was talking about. So defects will keep on carrying beta from one generation to another generation. I hope this is clear till here. So now the species consequently cannot adapt to changes in its environment. Understood? They'll not be adaptive in their environment. Next, asexual reproduction produces identical organism generations after generation. That's what I talked about right now. Correct now? So my generations will be having what? So they will see, miss, if my daughter, my daughter's daughter, my son's son will be seeing what you call what through specific micro they'll be seeing the same bacteria. Understood or not? So definitely the generation and generation will be exactly having seeing the same defect in that unicellular organism, because they are making what beta clones. Variations are very very minimal, not there or very very minimal. Because of some very critical factors only, we may be seeing some variations in them. Still it is exactly till here, it is clear or not? Yes. So now asexual reproduction produces identical organism generation after generation. In case of any defect in parent organism, the offsprings also inherit that. That's the most important thing. So one single defect is present in one, it will keep on going in the bloodline of the other. I hope, is it clear? Clear or not? Very good. Super. So now we are going to see type of reproduction. Here, asexual reproduction, when we are talking about, in asexual reproduction, fission, fragmentation, regeneration, budding, spore formation, and vegetative propagation. In fission, binary fission and multiple fission. Next class, we are going to study it in a more elaborative way. Now, fragmentation, regeneration, budding, and spore formation. And next is vegetative propagation. And then male and female for sexual reproduction, sperm and ovum, and zygote formation is there. So everything we are going to study in next class. Okay. So but first, mitotic and amitotic division, meiosis and mitosis also we are going to learn, because these topics must be learned properly. I hope. How was the class today, children? Come on, say, did you learned? Quickly give me a feedback. Was it okay? No reaction. Everyone is sleeping. Good. Super. Very good, Vida. Bye, everyone. Have a nice day. See, extra class. See, listen, children. Today I am planning for an extra class also. School extra class. School is there. Today school is half day now, so let's have an extra class for maths specifically. Okay, so we'll have an extra class for maths. I will be exactly explaining. Okay, we'll go for revision today. Got it? We'll go for revision. Timing, I'll just announce you timing. Huh? I have some work. The moment my work will be over, I'll be what you called making one class for you people. I think KV also is having half day. Most of the schools are having half day, huh? So half day will be there. Okay, fine. Bye everyone.